Hi, it's me, Helen. Let me just start off by saying good morning. This video will have a lot involved in it, but I am happy to say I'm no longer Helen DiTomaso. Yes, I got my divorce finally. But for all intents and purposes, this channel will stay It's Me, Helen. So we're just going to jump right on in. My ex-husband committed perjury on the witness stand. I had brought it to my divorce attorney's attention several times. He just told me to let it go. And so I'm just going to put up the last messages with the divorce attorney regarding the perjury so that you can see that. No need to add all the other messages, but give me a second. Let me pull that up. Okay, so here is the last messages. You can see even in these messages, he states that Judge Larson will not care about the perjury. And that was the messages I sent right here, because this is very important. Now that you've seen those, some of the perjury that he committed was he had never had sex with another woman. Well, that woman he very much indeed did. He never forced me to have a threesome. That woman he very much did. And that is also the woman he said that he gave me permission for my extramarital affair with her, and when it went south, we were forced to move. That is also incorrect. We moved because we bought the house. All easily proven. That's the woman right there. And I believe it would be forensics that would go in and retrieve the deleted photos that he had of the threesome that he forced me to have, of him having sex with her. All easily proven. So that was a couple counts of perjury right there. Now you're gonna give me a second. I have to pull up something else. Okay, you see this painting? This painting involves other perjury that my ex-husband committed. On the witness stand, my ex-husband also said he gave me permission to have an extramarital affair with Tori Dana, the one who painted that painting. That also would be easily proven that he was lying. You question Tori Dana, we never had any type of relationship in any type of a sexual manner, period. Another count of perjury was that painting. He claimed that I went to Louisiana to have that painting painted of me as a gift to my ex-husband. That's not true. Part of it's true. It was a gift to my ex-husband, yes. But it's not a painting of me. And he put that as my lover. I went to my lover to paint that painting of me. No, it didn't happen. That painting was a gift to my ex-husband. He liked art. It was actually a set, a female and a male. The male painting was too big to fit in my vehicle, so I could not take both of them. But again, that's easily proven. So at least 5 counts of perjury right there on those. Tori Dana, and you saw the woman. If anyone wanted to actually find out the truth, but that hasn't been the theme. no one's ever cared to verify the lies he's been saying. The next set that we're going to go through is the sale of the house. That is going to be very important to look at the date of these messages, so give me a second. Okay, so we're going to look at the date here, November 24th. November 24th. Now, the reason that that date will be very important is because my ex-husband filed a motion to hold me in contempt for not complying to sell the house, December 23rd. When all attorneys were on vacation, not giving me enough time to get an attorney, and I had to be in court January 7th. When I went to court, the judge did not care to see that I had been in contact with the realtor and had been trying to get the paperwork to get signed and turned in for the sale of the house. It appears she had waited, and we'll get to those messages in a minute. She waited to give me the paperwork the day after he filed the motion. And that motion was to make it where I wouldn't have any say of the house and he could do whatever he wanted, sign whatever he wanted, and I wouldn't be signing anything like that or have any say at all. She waited till the day after he filed that motion, which was December 23rd. So Christmas Eve, she gives me the paperwork. I am messaging her November 24th, a month prior. And that was a Monday, I believe. And so that Friday, a realtor that I had been working with had reached out to her. Come to find out, I was given the wrong information to contact the realtor that was in charge of selling the house. But the realtor I had worked with to try to find a place did get the correct information and give it to me. That realtor also said that the realtor in charge of selling the house would be reaching out to me that day after her meeting. Did not hear from her. That is why I reached out November 24th. And in these messages, you will see that I am constantly trying to get the paperwork. So I will pull up those messages for you. 1 second. So here is the start of my messages. And funny thing is right here, she's saying I gave her the wrong number. Well, I didn't, because I text her. Right here, she's saying she was texting me at another number I gave her. But I didn't give her another number because I had directly texted her from this phone number. And she had checked back, as you can see. So why would she be saying that I gave her another number? But that's okay. We're going to continue on with the messages. You can see that I had been in constant contact trying to get the paperwork. All of these are messages between me and the realtor. Still trying to get the paperwork. And here we are. We're going to go back. As you can see, December 24th. We now are getting the paperwork. Giving him a month to go file the motion with the courts. These are all the messages between me and that realtor. So as you can see, somebody who's supposed to be neutral was working with my ex-husband. The judge did not even care to see that I had been trying. But you all have the messages right there to see. You all have them all. The next thing I will talk about is my oldest son's big wedding. He knew that I had been diagnosed with PTSD. He was also the one that was a sapper with the United States Navy. My ex-husband is not his father. My son lied and said that my ex-husband would not be invited. Later, for him to say that it was his wife that invited my ex-husband. So with that, either he's lying and he did invite my ex-husband, or that's a very toxic relationship that his wife didn't care about his feelings and respect his wishes. However, my son said that I would not even be near my ex-husband at his big wedding. Well, that was not true. It was so close we could have rubbed elbows. Yeah. Also, I didn't even get an invitation He likes to say that he gave me one, but he didn't. My ex-husband, not only at his invitation early on, was also part of the rehearsal dinner and pictures before the big wedding with the groomsmen and everything, and made it a point that I was not included in any of it. But my son said that I was invited, right? Well, it was a bit much to be that close to my rapist. I couldn't take it. I left. I had a couple drinks. And, my car clock was wrong. I didn't set it. I tend not to set it. Probably should do that. But I saw the clock and I saw the time and it was off by an hour, and I thought everybody was going to be coming home, and I panicked and I was going to drive my car off the bridge that night. But instead I drove it on the curb at the gas station and handed in my keys. I got arrested for DWI or DUI. Don't worry, my lovely daughter had posted my mugshot for many months on Facebook. It's okay. But I got arrested. I was held in booking. I never even made it to the jail. And I was released the next day with no bond. I couldn't take it anymore. I had had too much. The sad part is that my son, who was a United States Navy SAPR, Sexual Assault Prevention Resource, he got into that because it is said that he was sexually assaulted on a United States Navy ship. So, one, either that didn't happen to him, because why would you support a rapist if you were raped or sexually assaulted? Or two, he doesn't believe me. The sad part is it was my birthday, and I was face to face with him moments after I was sexually assaulted. But as a sexual assault prevention resource, is that what the United States Navy teaches you to treat a victim of rape and sexual assault like? Is that what the United States Navy teaches you to treat someone who has PTSD like? I couldn't take it anymore. Furthermore, my ex-husband is a United States Navy veteran, and he raped me. So with all of this, maybe the United States Navy needs to be investigated. And this is the men that they are sending into the world. Anyway, I was arrested. I was released the next day. About 2 weeks before my hearing came up for the DWI, that's when my ex-husband pushed it forward for me to get my divorce, so he could try to use it against me in court. I'm assuming his attorney already knew it was going to get dismissed. And I'm over here like, if I knew that would have got me my freedom, I probably would have did this a long time ago just to be free. However, the very DA that did not even help me attempt to get justice for any of the abuse I went through, really pushed hard to get some charges to stick to me, along with the Round Rock police. So, I had to have that blower thing in my car for a little while, and when my hearing was coming up, it got pushed back because, oops, the BAC came back that I was half the legal limit. because I wasn't drunk. I had been pushed past my limit that I had been telling everybody that I was getting close and I could not take anymore, but they wouldn't stop. So because it was half the legal limit, about to half the legal limit, they wanted to postpone my hearing so they could run it for drugs, to do everything they could to get that to stick to me. No drugs in my system. So the very DA that tried his very best to get those things to stick to me and failed miserably is the same DA that didn't even try to help me get justice or give me the opportunity to get justice. And the Round Rock police did everything they could to get those things to stick to me as well. And they failed miserably. The same Round Rock police that wouldn't look at any of my evidence at all to help me. So once my blood came back, no drugs in it, my case was dismissed. And the judge ordered that device to be removed from my car immediately. Not in a couple months when it was due to come out, but immediately. Did my daughter go in there and post that she wasn't drunk? No. Did any of them state that it wasn't that she was really drunk? That we pushed her over the edge? No, because that would not make me look bad and help my ex-husband. So the case was dismissed. The Round Rock police wouldn't look at any of my videos, at any of my pictures or anything. It didn't matter. Which will bring me to the next topic. I've been assaulted twice, 2 different days, by my daughter. The second day, I slapped her in the face. Yes, I did. She was running her body into me, and she was spitting into my face. The police says, was she spitting in your face by talking? I said, no, she was spitting in my face. So I slapped her. So in the middle of that, after I slapped her, she spit in my face again and bumped her body into me, and she was like, you go to jail, and she was cussing. At that point, I had already started calling 911. She grabbed her phone, ran into the other room, and started screaming, oh, she's beating me up right now. When just seconds before that, she was in my face. Well, kind of, because she's shorter than me. But she was, you go to jail, cussing me out. When the police got there, she tried to say that I was beating her up, and I slapped her in the face. Neither one of us went to jail that night, but my ex-husband used that against me in the court, saying that my daughter had to be taken to the hospital, have MRIs done. Well, I think they should have to show proof of those MRIs, because she wasn't taken to the hospital. No. She didn't have MRIs done. But we're going to talk a little bit about, all she does is lie. So my ex-husband is not her father. Her biological father, she did a forensics interview. An interview where they video it, and it was sent to St. Bernard Parish, stating that her biological father raped her, and that her biological father took her to her grandfather, my father, where they both raped her. I'm sure someone in St. Bernard Parish can locate that interview. That would prove what she said, because she claims that she didn't say that to her biological father. That never happened. But it did. To the St. Bernard Sheriff's Department got that video. Also, we're going to talk about CPS, Child Protective Services. So, when I went home one day, my lovely daughter had locked me out the house, saying I'm not allowed in my house. And I had to call the police to get me back in the house. She called a CPS worker. So he said to the police that I am a danger to my grandchildren. Funny thing is I was at work when all the injuries were happening to my grandchildren. My daughter had several, in the 20s, of CPS reports. And she always said it was somebody else. But the only common denominator was her. The police said without a restraining order, I could not be kept from going in my house. So then she called my ex-husband. Mind you, we were still married at this time. He said he was the owner of the house and he didn't want me there. The police said she's got to be let in unless you formally evict her, and he couldn't do that. He could not formally evict me from my home. We were going through a divorce and all of that. Well, if you want to look at the dates and times, there was a couple incidents where my grandson had to be seen at an ER or urgent care clinic. I was at work when those injuries happened. So I will show a couple things where that CPS worker, I tried to show him the smaller injuries that had happened that he wouldn't even look at, to later then tell the police that I was the danger to my grandchildren. And because CPS didn't do anything to protect them, which was the more severe injuries that happened to my grandson. So CPS definitely needs to be investigated. And after those major injuries had happened, CPS still stuck with she was innocent. Well, I was at work and I can prove it. So let me pull these up for you. Okay, so this, you can see the discoloration around the eye. My youngest boy was right there when I had asked my grandson what happened to his eye. And he was 4 at the time of that one. He said, I fell and hit my face on the floor. That's what Mom said. That sounded a bit rehearsed and really well spoken for a 4-year-old. It's not usually what a 4-year-old would say. Now you see that little small one right there. He had one on each eye. The CPS worker didn't even want to look at it. Then after that is when I was locked out of my house and I had to get the police to let me back in, and they tried to say that I was a danger to the children. Well, I didn't do that to my grandchildren. And these next set of images, I apologize in advance. But because CPS did not do their job and help my grandchildren, this was the next set of injuries. No, I don't want to leave those images up too long. I already look at them over and over and over. I was at work when those happened. Yet CPS worked with my daughter to say that I was the one hurting my grandchildren. But if you look at the smaller ones, that was months before those bigger ones happened. I was at work, and my third child went to go pick her and my grandson up to bring him to the emergency room to get checked out because he was knocked unconscious. And I was at work when that happened. Originally, my daughter didn't want me to know because she wanted to hide it from Child Protective Services. Child Protective Services is a joke. They didn't protect those kids, and they're not protecting them. Round Rock Police is a joke. When I was having my stuff damaged by my daughter, I tried to say, you know, I got the videos and the proof. The Round Rock Police told me, well, she says she's got the same videos. And I said, good, watch her videos. Because it will show you the same thing I'm telling you. And they wouldn't even watch the videos. Because both videos, mine and hers, would prove the exact same thing. So, yeah. But this has been a lot of emotional things at the moment, so I'm going to have to stop the video here and maybe do another video at a later time because this is a lot, and looking at my grandchildren like that, I have to take a moment to myself. Anyway, remember to keep moving forward. You are special, you are worthy, and plenty of people love you. Until next time, bye.